Yeah, it wasn't too good, to be honest. I think we ended up 6th or 7th or something, which not too happy about at all. But you know, it's early days yet. It's Friday. We didn't go out the session this morning like a lot of people sat it out with the weather conditions. It was it's kind of wet and a bit in between. And today in that free practice too, then there was a lot of damp patches around. One of the things we were lacking a little bit of speed coming out of some of the corners at the race here when our battle was shaky. We just didn't have enough just to beat him at the end, you know. So we've altered that, and like I say, we haven't really had a chance to try it today. So we're going to leave the bike as it is now and try that tomorrow and see if we can improve.
This is going to be some race. 27 riders on the grid. When the lights go out, we're off. Josh Brooks gets a clean start on the Taiko Suzuki, but look how strong Shaky Byrne was from his inside, and it's Shaky Byrne who grabs the racing line into Paddock Hill Bend with the Hulsel Kawasaki's following him through. I reckon it's a Hulsel Kawasaki 2-3. Alex Lowe's slips back to 5th place in the initial rush off the line. 18 laps ahead, and James Westmoreland says that this kidney-shaped original Brands Hatch Indy circuit is absolutely lethal.
Yeah, you can see that. Did you see Alex Lowe's lighting up the rear coming out of Druids there? And that's what they're saying. It's this Indy circuit. The thing is, you know, they're used for different things. The long circuit's never hardly used. The short circuit, this bit is used a lot. Every single day, track days, car launches, etc. So the grip levels alter.
Ellison's come through from 14th to 8th on the first lap for Milwaukee Yamaha, I beg its pardon. There's Ellison still trying to make progress. There's Linfoot leading that batch of riders. Behind him, he's got Tommy Bridewell from way back on the grid. And there is Tommy Bridewell getting the better of his teammate, James Ellison, and dropping down Paddock Hill Bend into 8th place.
Yeah, that's Costello and Walker. That's Bridewell. And Ellison's going backwards. That's Westmoreland.
James seems really detuned.
He does, yeah.
He didn't defend that line at all.
He didn't.
I wonder if he's got a problem. Because
I think, yeah, he's definitely got a problem, I would say, Jack.
So problems then for James Ellison. He'll lose that 3rd place in the championship with Josh Brooks leading the way should Josh win this race, or indeed finish anywhere near the front as Ellison slips back out of the top 10. Oh, this is Bridewell. Watch this, James.
Yeah, Bridewell
on Costello.
On Costello and Neely Walker as well while I was at it. That's at Dingledale and up into Sheens.
This is Bridewell, past Walker this time.
Yep.
So Thomas George Bridewell the second, riding strongly for Milwaukee Yamaha. James Ellison has retired the Milwaukee Yamaha. Hugely disappointing conclusion to Saturday here at Brands Hatch for Ellison. He's got to now regroup and look forward to tomorrow's 2 races. The first race of the weekend goes to Josh Brooks, Taiko Suzuki. 2nd place, that'll do, thank you, for Alex Lowe's on the Samsung Honda. He takes a 3-point lead in the championship over the defending champion, number 67, Shaky Byrne.
I was actually genuinely really happy. I felt I rode well in the wet, and I felt, to be honest, if I could have perhaps got away with the front boys, then maybe I could have stuck in there. But coming from 14th, it was always going to be a tall order, and in all considering with the weather and where we were in qualifying, and we went the right way up the grid, and yeah, I'm pretty happy with the way the Milwaukee Yamaha sort of performed in the whole team. If it is wet, then yeah, we definitely will make some changes. Need to find a little bit more rear grip and a bit more edge grip. I think if we can do that, then we can definitely run a lot faster. And in the dry, I think we have a good setting anyway. So yeah, no matter what the conditions, tomorrow will be a lot stronger.
Visor steamed up qualifying, so we ended up starting from 16th on the grid, which obviously gives a lot of hard work. And I thought I need to get a decent start and get up there. We managed to get to 7th on the first lap, and I thought, this will do. And I pulled out of the slipstream of the guys in front, which would have been 6th, 5th, and 4th. And then I just started seeing my visor steaming up, and every lap it just got worse and worse, and I just couldn't do anything. In the end, I just ended up pulling in because I dropped so far back with the positions. I dropped out the points, and I couldn't get anything from it. It was just going to be a crash. I couldn't see my braking markers, couldn't see apexes. So yeah, really unfortunate that happened in the race yesterday. And obviously again with the crap lap time, ended up being 16th on the grid again today. So a little bit frustrating, really.
You know, I felt for him, felt for everybody. You know, James put so much effort in, the team put so much effort in, and to be let down with something like that is just infuriating. It's completely out of our control. Tommy, you know, he bit of a steady start to the race, made a little bit of a mistake at the beginning and got passed by quite a few people, but once he got going he started to find some rhythm and moved up through the grid quite well, really. So yeah, hopefully he's quite fired up and keen, and you know, see what happens with the weather and the track conditions, and hopefully we can have a good day today.
Alex Lowe's pointing straight ahead on pole position on the right. No early apex into paddock for him. He's just going for an absolute Santa Pod getaway. But look at Norrie Haga. Haga bursts through into the front three, but then just backs off and allows Shaky Byrne to get the whole shot ahead of Alex Lowe's on the blue Samsung Honda.
Lowe's is off!
Lowe's is down! Alex Lowe's has crashed coming out of Druids. He can't restart the race. That is him done. Ellison amazingly leads it. Ellison running at the front. Lee Costello, could he lead a race for Halsell Racing Kawasaki? The burly little fella from Bolton is right there behind Kendall's James Ellison on the Milwaukee Yamaha. Completing the 4th lap of 20, 1/5 race distance. Lee goes for the early apex, and he leads a championship race in his rookie season. Lee Costello.
He's gone wide now.
And Ellison retakes it, so a brief moment of glory there for Costello.
He's going again.
Gone straight on. He hooks it back, but now first and second will be Costello and Westmoreland. James running with... someone's off.
That could be
Druids.
Waters,
That might be Josh Waters.
Yep.
No, it's Tommy Bridewell.
It's Bridewell.
It's Bridewell on the Milwaukee Yamaha.
Yep.
So Bridewell drops it at Druids.
Yeah, look, intermediate on the back for Bridewell.
Shaky Byrne's gone down. Shaky Byrne's fallen. Well, and has he done that coming out of Druids?
I think it is.
Whoa, and a mistake by James Westmoreland. And this time it's Ellison, his namesake, who moves through and clips back into second place down the hill. James Ellison, after a bit of a nightmare weekend with misted up visors of all things in both qualifying and yesterday's race, is now getting a sniff of a possible victory.
It's the tyres that are making the difference, and I'm not sure Ellison's got intermediates as well, you know. If he has, he's done well to stay on the bike as long as he hasn't got this pace.
He just chopped his way through into the lead. Then James Ellison on the Milwaukee Yamaha, then the Cumbrian former European Superstock 1000 and World Endurance champ, moves through into the lead ahead of Lee Costello. And that thundering cross-plane R1 Yamaha drops down Pilgrim's Drop, surges up to Hawthorns Hill. As we watch Lee Costello back to the front. Well done. Lee Costello getting to the front once again, retakes James Ellison. The leader is number 39, Lee Costello. Ellison hounding him now on the 17th of 20 laps.
Brooks might win this. Brooks might win this. He's going to get mega drive out of this corner onto the straight. Look, sticking onto that dry line. Come on. This is a... Oh, don't get in the way. Do not get in the way because Brooks needs the dry line. Brooks needs the dry line.
And he surges down Pilgrim's Drop. He's right with Ellison.
I tell you what, he's going to win it. Brooks will win this.
He comes round onto the Minter Straight. He gets underneath James Ellison as they drive down.
He's going to win this.
And into Westfield. Lee Costello, is he going to be a sitting duck as they drop down? It'll still be damp in Dingle Dell.
There's nothing that Costello can do about this. Brooks is going to win it. I will guarantee that.
Josh Brooks, is he about to win his 4th race and do the double here? He risks the wetter track. He can't do that. Costello has the advantage into Stirling's. Now, can he keep the dry? But when they hit the dry line as they come through clearways onto the Clark curve, surely Josh Brooks lines himself up.
No,
Costello bravely chops across the front of the Tyco Suzuki.
He's still
gone wide. Brooks cuts back underneath him. Brooks takes the win for Tyco Suzuki. From an absolutely courageous Lee Costello. 3rd place for James Ellison.
Again, started 16th in the grid, knew we needed a decent start. Same thing, because we planned it yesterday. We had a bit of a practice run. We started from the same position, so I knew which parts of the circuit on the first 3 corners had grip, where you could pass, and that was kind of pivotal in what happened today, really. So I just did exactly the same thing. I pretty much had the same line as I did yesterday, but there was a little bit of coming together with other riders at turn 1 and turn 2, and that left a few more gaps, and then before I knew it, I think I was in first before turn 4. So yeah, real happy with that, and just rode as hard as I could. The tyres were knackered at the end of the race, and both me and Lee Costello, I think, were absolutely on the limit with the wets. And 1 lap less, and we would have been, you know, maybe a second place. But yeah, it was good. You know, Josh come through at the end there with the interzone and kind of took some positions off us, but he obviously made the right choice and rode hard. So full credit to him.
Full wets here for the final race. The first full wet race of the whole campaign is the final race of the series at Brands Hatch. Josh Brooks off pole position, gets good drive on the Taiko Suzuki. We're looking for Shaky Burns' helmet, and he goes for an outside line to try and wing his way around the outside into Paddock Hill Bend.
It's dangerous, because if anything happens, you're going to cop for it.
And at the same time, Linfoot versus Ellison. Linfoot got the better of James Ellison, then Ellison fights back on Halewood Hill because of the scoring.
Oh, that was Ellison nearly high-siding.
Somehow managed to save it as
he
goes by.
Makes an habit of that. He had the best save in the world at Silverstone, remember? Here we go, watch the back of the shot, the orange back, there it goes. Ooh, take that.
Then trying to escape the clutches of the reigning champion. Ooh, and again he was onto the white line.
Lowe's on the white line.
He's really straining at the leash to try and escape from Shaky's attentions here.
Yeah, got to be a quick lap from Lowe's, this, I think. Oh, and he's using all the track and the paint, and you just don't do that in these conditions.
And Tommy Bridewell, he is just coming up on them all the time, and that was what made the...
Oh, Lowe's out the seat again, he's out the seat again.
3 times in succession. And that gave Shaky Burn that extra drive as he tried to get under him, but Alex determinedly shuts the door as they go down Paddock Hill Bend. And now, what will the problem for Shaky? It'll become vulnerable to a pass by number 46 there, Tommy Bridewell, who's right behind them.
Bridewell still on it, nearly as quick that lap, 37.1.
Oh dear.
What do you want to get involved in this? Would you want to get involved?
Well, I would think that Tommy sees himself as second place in this race. He thinks he can get through here. And look at that early power down on the Cooper Straight from Shirky. Doesn't quite squeeze through. Oh, Alex breaks late. He pulls it back to the apex. Yes, he does. Tommy Bridewell does seem to have thought, do you know what, I really shouldn't get involved in this, and he's just kind of riding shotgun to this, to these two at the moment. And Shaky keeps trying to take advantage of those moments for Alex, but not making it.
Yeah, you're saying that Bridewell might be sitting behind him. He's actually going just as quick, but the other guys, Lowe's and Byrne, have raised their game. They're down to the 37 Lowe's now.
Yeah, you're right. They're on to the 37 threes. Exploding across the line now. It's Alex Lowe's. He's in the driving seat for the championship. The reigning champion right behind him. Shaky Burn, after an awesome race, has not quite managed to nail it. Josh Brooks will take the victory. 3 out of 3 for Taiko Suzuki as he wheelies across the line. Second place, and the MCE British Insurance British champion of 2013 is Samsung Honda's Alex Lowe's. He looks round for the defeated Shaky Burn because he'll want to hand over his commissions to the ex-champ, because that was some rousing climax to the series.
It's been a bit of a frustrating weekend. You know, we had the problems on Saturday, qualifying first race. Didn't set us up great really for today, but James, fantastic, you know, first race today. To get up to the front in 1 lap from 16th on the grid was pretty special, and you know, he rode well all race to get on the podium, which to do that from where he was on the grid, we're really happy. Second race, you know, a bit of a war of attrition really, you know, and didn't quite have the setup that worked. Struggled a lot on the left-hand side of the tyre where it was quite cold. So
unfortunately, the Milwaukee Yamaha team's left the season with a 4th place, and very disappointed for myself really, and disappointed for the team because they did deserve more than that.
You know, Tommy's come in, he's done a really good job, to be honest. He's worked hard, and you know, he's put the bike regularly towards the front. So yeah, you know, we've got to look first off at the guys that we've got and the experience and what have you with the bike, so then we can kind of start to run forward for next year.